poems, 3 journeys. This first one is called The Boy at the Window. I was coming home from school in the rural village where I grew up, and I looked up and saw a face looking out of a bedroom window. The face was the boy who every morning caught the same bus as I did to school. He was on his way to art college, where I myself wanted to be. I remember his dark eyes and short dark hair, his corduroy coat and red Adidas trainers. I always sat behind him on the bus. And I looked out of the window across the rolling fields and meadows of the Kent countryside at dawn. From the top deck seat I always sat in, this dreamy, luminescent landscape, filled with the light of the sun speeding through the trees. Then, one day, I looked at the boy sitting in front of me and saw beauty as the light caught one side of his face. Was he looking out of the window at me, I wonder, as if to say hello? Or was it purely just to look out? Many years later, I was running through apple tree orchards in the garden where my friend had his artist studio. He had dark eyes and dark hair, a corduroy coat and red Adidas trainers. We drank cider made from the apples picked up from the grass under the trees where we lay drinking, as the sun set just over the meadows, and its light illuminating the orchard. I was never sure if he, in fact, was the boy at the window. I never asked him. I never dare. I still wonder, what if? Journey 2, Michael in the Mountains. Lee Campbell Drawings, Appalachian Mountains, USA road trip, summer 1996. Often the journey is more than the destination. The liminal journey, the space between what is felt and what is seen. Through that window you peer out of is the window into yourself. This window between me and the Sussex rural wilderness, this stretch of track reminds me, summer 96, Buffalo towards Washington through the Appalachian Mountains. Mum navigates, Dad drives, I rear backseat passenger, listening to REM on tape. Towards Eastbourne, early 2023, listening again to the same REM tape. Look up, Chalkman on the side of the hill. His name, the Long Man of Wilmington. No one knows how he got there. How and when did he arrive? For me, there is only one man in the mountains. Michael Stipe, queering my landscape, past Buffalo into Allegheny Mountains, to Ellicottville, to Grampian, to Altoona, Breezewood, Leesburg, Washington to London, shared place names UK and USA, but miles apart. That separation allowed me to queer the landscape even more. During our road trip to discover rural America, a reality constructed in movies, I discovered me. When cowboys just happened to be strolling down Main Street, I noticed the cut of the cowboy gene makes for a tighter fit on bulging Mel butt cheek. Towards Eastbourne, I recall mental snapshots of rest stops, motels and gas stations, light illuminating certain parts of my journey, glitchy, like that of memory, slippery, messy, but my desire, I was certain. I draw sketchbook images that do not depict the landscape, but my emotional connection to it. My landscape queered as I listened to Mr. Stipe. I want to be seen, seen as me. See me, see Lee. But I don't want to be seen, looking at he who I desire. I am watching, I am being watched over. Dad looking out the rear view, behind him in the back window, and to get there, he must see me in the background. Hoping for when I could see and be seen seeing. I knew it would come. I wasn't sure how I would get there. How and when would I arrive? Who's gonna wanna look at you? 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 Climb aboard the 704 to Windsor. My great-granddad, Ronald James, is at the wheel. He drove the same Green Line bus every day in the 40s and 50s, smog and chimneys replacing the Kent and Sussex countryside. Walked home alone at 1 a.m. from where he left his bus at Woodbury Park Road in Tunbridge Wells, only to return a few hours later to begin the day's service. There and back, there and back. Grandad, his son, Ronald George, was told not to learn to drive. My mum, his daughter, was too nervous to learn to drive. Me and Mum got the Maidstone and District buses everywhere. Paid a flat fare for the Wonder bus ticket. Got off and on wherever we liked. Travelled to different counties in a day. No more than 5, but more than 3. Wonder bus, wanderlust. Still be at home in time for tea. Straight to the upper deck of the double-decker, sat front seat on the right, as that's where was a thing of great wonder to me, the periscope. Day tripping with Mum, I was on a submarine, intrigued by this rudimentary machine. Never quite sure if I was or not seen, I can still recall my fascination of the periscope, rather the name or the places we'd been. The periscope. Reflection and mirrors, great-granddad keeping his eye on his passengers. Those lads at the back upper deck having a smoke, peer down the periscope from my seat, and sometimes you see the driver, if he looks up, game over. Years later, I realised I enjoyed looking at men. Life for me then was playing periscope. I got very clever at seeing without being seen. Age 16, sweating on a hot day in Dad's work van. Who's gonna wanna look at you, said Dad while stuck in a 3-mile traffic jam. Me too nervous to take my shirt off, but I wanted to be seen, to be both the driver and the passenger. Never think twice about taking my shirt off. Playing periscope, heatwave 97, kissing a boyfriend, shirt off, us only wearing shorts while sat back upper deck. Driver, glance up the periscope, all you like. Next time, I'll kiss him with my birthday suit. Woo!